Hi guys, hello. How y'all doing? Back again, another day, another dollar, another live stream. So this, I'm going to try and get away a bit from all the Philip Schofield stuff. Talk about some other things. One of the main things I was wanting to talk about was all this Andrew Tate stuff going on right now. There was a big interview, I think was it last week or the week before, that he done with the BBC. And there's another big interview that he's done. It's up. It's about 4 hours, 40 minutes. Wasn't going to go watch it all. It's a long interview he's done with the Valuetainment channel. The guy, Patrick Bet-David. He's really done a great job growing his channel, growing his brand. Give him props for that. But when it comes to the interview that he's done with Andrew Tate, I don't know about this. With Andrew Tate, with all of these allegations, there's going to be, what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. With all these allegations, the human trafficking allegations, rape allegations. I mean, I'm not necessarily suggesting that all the allegations are true, but as I say, where there's smoke, there's fire, though. I think there's what's the saying, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and it quacks. There's just so many things with this guy. I mean, just from a lot of the controversial shit that he's said in the past. And, when he kind of trivializes something like, I think it was when it was the whole Me Too movement thing, and he's being critical about how these allegations are brought forward years later. And he was saying that, well, you should have done something about it at the time, that kind of thing. But I mean, we don't know what happens. These allegations, police can do a piss poor job, just drop them. These people that high, very powerful celebrities can be well connected. They can ensure that these chart cases get dropped. So yeah, I mean, with the stuff with Andrew Tate, I did actually watch the majority of the unedited BBC interview. Hi, Cara. Good evening. You all right? I did watch majority of the interview, and yeah, I mean, you could say that it maybe wasn't the best interview. The interviewer maybe didn't. I mean, the thing was, though, people will try and compare this to like Elon Musk's interview with the interviewer, but I think this woman was much better and much more well prepared, really, than the guy who interviewed Musk. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. But I mean, with some of the stuff that Andrew Tate, I mean, first off, Andrew Tate claims that they were begging him for an interview. Now, you know what? That very well might be the case. They might have been kind of begging him for an interview. I mean, the thing about this, though, with Andrew Tate being, I think at one point he was the most Googled person on the planet. He had more views on TikTok than I think any other person. I mean, millions and millions of views, almost maybe going into the billions. And obviously, yeah, it's a hot topic. It's a popular, current affairs, big topic. And I've not really wanted to get into this stuff with Andrew Tate because I don't really want to be. It just gets his name out there more. Not that I'm it's going to be huge, big numbers with what I do, but it still gets numbers when you talk about Andrew Tate, nonetheless. I mean, the stuff, though, going back to about begging for an interview, I mean, yeah, you could make that case that BBC probably did that, but Andrew should know the score, though, and know what's up, because I think, Andrew, with Andrew Tate, it goes back to the Talk TV interview that he did with Piers Morgan. And then that was, the whole time Piers Morgan was pushing him. I think for 10 minutes, Piers Morgan was pushing him on the whole, it was the whole thing about Andrew Tate saying that when you're with a girl or woman, then that's at that point, that's your property. And he just kept pushing him on that. And that lasted for about a good 10 minutes. And I mean, I certainly don't like Andrew Tate. I don't really like Piers Morgan either. And that was kind of like, that interview kind of went round and round in a circle. It was kind of like pulling teeth. It wasn't really a great walk. It was kind of like, the way I would describe it, kind of like a car wreck, brutal, but you can't take your eyes off it. But Andrew Tate complained, Andrew Tate complained saying that was like a hit piece, so he's complaining that the BBC thing was a hit piece. The BBC were going to claim that they're going to be more impartial with this. Whether that's exactly what they said or not, I don't know. It's a huge, obviously, British Broadcasting Corporation, huge thing. And I think at the end of the day, Andrew Tate can moan and play the victim and say that they lied to him. Whether they did or not, I don't know. Maybe, I suppose they probably did. But Andrew Tate should know the score and know how it works with these corporations. If the same thing happened with Talk TV with Piers Morgan, why did he think it would be any different with the BBC? How could Andrew Tate moan about that? And even Andrew Tate points out, about the whole thing about Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris, how BBC covered that up for years. So how could you generally take a corporation like that on their word, where that for years and years this corporation is very sketchy, very questionable? Yeah, the one-eyed Cara. Yeah, I'm part of the club, Cara, the Illuminati. I don't know what it is. I didn't get great sleep last night, Cara. I've got real bloodshot in my eye, this eye here. But yeah, I mean, Andrew Tate, though, he can't moan, can he? He can't moan. He should have known exactly what was going to happen. It is roasting, Cara. It is probably too warm for wearing a jumper, but he should have known what they were going to do. And in the end, though, I mean, the thing is, I know he's going to get big numbers with his Valuetainment interview. He should have been better off doing this in the first place. If he wanted to come off looking good, he would have been better off doing that with Valuetainment at the start and just turning down BBC. But you know why Andrew Tate does it? Because he's a sucker for getting his face out there. It's all about attention with Andrew Tate, whether it be good or bad. And that's why I think he did it in the end. He agreed to it because his ego was like, oh, I'm going to be shown in the BBC. This is going to be great. And Andrew Tate claims that he destroyed the BBC with this interview. I don't think that's the case. I mean, she's probably one of these woke, liberal, leftist types, the woman who did it. But I thought she handled them all right, to be fair. I thought she handled them pretty well. I mean, you could tell she didn't like him, right? Did not respect him, but I still think she did a pretty decent professional job, though. Don't know about Andrew Tate. Well, I mean, no one knew about who Andrew Tate even was this time last year, right? He only became a real big thing this time last year. Started getting picked up on the algorithms on YouTube and then Twitter. He was already made a huge name. He was getting huge thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions of views on TikTok. So it's a big thing. But I have videos about Andrew Tate. You could find them. One of them is called My Honest Opinion on Andrew Tate. And this was in late August time. And I said in that interview, it was not an interview, it was just a short video I did. I said, quote, he's going to get exposed soon. And all these people who are on the right, who are like bigging him up, his fan club, they'll end up with egg on their face, And Andrew Tate has been around these people on the right wing. He's been around people like Candace Owens. He's been around people like Tommy Robinson. He's been around people like Paul Joseph Watson. He's kind of infiltrated that circle of the right wing, alternative media, truther community, whatever you want to call them. So these people, no matter what, even if they deep down probably have this idea of like, wow, these are all these allegations, rape, human trafficking, there's got to be something to them, right? No smoke without fire. But they're still going to do what they can to control the narrative and make it like Andrew Tate is a totally innocent man and has done nothing wrong. But when you have footage out there of him, like, hitting a woman, slapping her, whipped her with his belt, and she did apparently something that came out later that did they try and say that the woman claimed that it was consensual, but there's more to it, though. There's more when it comes to the website. The Hustlers University was a big scam. I mean, the amount of money they charged a month, a year was ridiculous. People spoke about being a crypto scam that him and his brother Tristan were involved in. So, I mean, it doesn't look good. I mean, no doubt there's an agenda, though. There is an agenda there's definitely an agenda with the establishment to take him down. I don't doubt that. But Daddy Alpha High. I actually did go on one of these create a t-shirt websites earlier. I should have taken a screenshot of it. I was playing about with t-shirt designs, Daddy Alpha, for the Sturgeon for Prison t-shirt. It was Nicola Sturgeon for Prison, and then there was like a Scotland flag in between Nicola Sturgeon and for Prison. But I'm thinking I'm considering about getting some stuff though, designed and print some t-shirts. Sturgeon for Prison, Cara. Yeah, it could be a big thing. It could be like Hillary for Prison, right? Waiting for buy one. We could definitely get a few sold on here, right? We could definitely put some money to get a few out there, get them made, manufactured. They'd probably sell like hotcakes, there'd be a big crowd out there that would buy them. But yeah, but with Andrew Tate though, he always has this thing talking about the Matrix, right? The Matrix, which is Andrew Tate's easy thing. It's the easy thing to do, right? To just say Matrix. It's just a simple thing that he'll latch on to, right? Because he'll just blame the Matrix. People are coming after him. People are saying he did this, he did that. Oh, it's the Matrix. It's like, well, what the fuck does that even mean? Are you trying to? I guess it's another word for mainstream media. Old cliche. Yeah, exactly. It's just his way of when he's cornered. When people are calling him out on his bullshit, he always resorts to that. Oh, it's the Matrix. Matrix this, Matrix that. It's like whatever. Yeah, I know, Cara. That's what people do. It's just typical, is it? It's just typical basic shit, isn't it? Not that we would know, right? but there's some of the other shit that he comes out with, and it's just some of the lies and like the fantasy world he's in with his lies. Really is something else, right? Because he's saying that he started claiming that all of a sudden now that he's doing charity work, right? Or maybe it was actually he had done charity work for a while, right? And he had been doing charity with the money he spends on charity work. It's $25 million a year, and that's that's a bold-faced lie. That is a bold-faced lie. I mean, put it this way, right? I don't even think. There will be billionaires out there that won't even be doing charity work, $25 million a year of their own money, right? So Tate, even though you might have had a bit of money, have some nice cars, a lot of them he probably leased, probably a private jet that he leased through connections, wealthy people, maybe got to use it on the cheap. There's no way he's doing charity work for $25 million a year. And if he is involved in any charity work, rest assured it's used as a tax write-off, right? But again, if you look up Valuetainment Andrew Tate, that's maybe one, Cara, if you want to find a little bit more about this guy. So there's one of the videos I was looking at. I didn't look at it all because I just can't stand that voice of his, Andrew Tate's. But one of the things was they were trying to claim that it was a hit piece from the very start of the BBC interview. And the guy, Patrick, was like, oh, right away they just said, well, very serious allegations out there. And the first thing she asks is, did you rape anybody? But that's a lie, Patrick. That's not what she said. And I went back to watch it, right? And I watched the BBC version, which is only 8 to 9 minutes. And then I watched the unedited version that I think he has on his Cobra Tate YouTube channel, whatever, and that's 38 minutes. So BBC only had a 9-minute interview. The full interview was about 38 minutes. But the very first thing from the very start of the conversation, she said, there's been a lot, basically something along the lines of there's some very serious allegations right now, rape, human trafficking, and the concerns that your words what you say with the impact that that has on young people, on women. And then he responds to that. So he makes it out, Patrick, like it's right away. She just asks, "Oh, have you raped anybody?" But that's not true. That's not what she said. So so at that point, Patrick, you're either lying, you're telling a lie, or you're just violently blowing out of proportion what she said. So, which one is it? So go to the comments. Some of the richest appeal to the poorest to pay for charity. Exactly. You're a billionaire, I'm a hundredaire. Yeah, and charity, it should matter about charity work, what you do. I mean, I don't mind, I'll pass somebody on the street, homeless people, I'll give some money to. A lot of people just wouldn't care, would they? Just look at them like they're dirt. But no, Sam Smith, Andrew Tate, Karen, no way would they be role models. Probably, I mean, both are probably just as bad, right? I mean, you've got Sam Smith pushing the satanic agenda. Andrew Tate would lead young teenage kids to believe that you could just treat women like dirt, and that's okay. There's no consequences to that. I don't want either for a role model, really, John. I mean, if I'm being honest, John, I mean, yeah, you could say that Andrew Tate makes some interesting points, right? He made an interesting point about maybe depression, and people are getting too quickly diagnosed when it comes to depression, right? And stuff about being critical of therapy and that. And I remember watching a video of that, and I thought, you know what, he does make some interesting points there. But with all the other shit that he says, I mean, there's obviously a reason this guy just goes around shagging these trashy looking women, right? That he's not settled down and, with women with children, right? I mean, he's just a sketchy character. And now he's trying to do the whole I've become a Muslim thing to I think that's just kind of try and portray him in a different way. I think he knows what he's doing there. That's very calculated. And it's kind of a shame that maybe there's certain people in the Muslim community, and there are some people out there with big YouTube channels who've talked to him. They should know that he's just taking them for a ride, really. I don't think he's sincere with this. I mean, he'll say that he was a Christian, he went to church in Romania, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I think he saw what was coming, right? He saw that his time was running out, right? When it came to this stuff that was going to be coming out soon. And that's where all of a sudden the conversion to Islam, that comes into play, But Andrew Tate quote, "There's no light without dark, there's no joy without pain," right? Do you follow Andrew Tate on Twitter, Daddy Alpha? You a Tate follower? I think was it Elon Musk that brought Andrew Tate back to Twitter? Was it Elon who did that? I think it might have been Elon who did it in the end. But there was still stuff with Elon, though. I mean, it seemed like you could say it was quite funny, that dig that he had at Taylor Swift, saying that she would look like Napoleon Dynamite. But it's like a 52-year-old man who's like a multi-millionaire, like who has shareholders to answer to. Should he really be doing that, though? It's like he should really know better, right? So I do have some doubts about Elon, I must say. And then there's the whole, was it the new CEO of Twitter? She's part of the WEF. And so, I mean, there is some question marks there with Elon that probably the fanboys will probably overlook, I imagine, right? Maureen, where's Maureen at, Cara? She's like, haven't heard from Maureen. She's fallen off the radar. It's not like Maureen. Yeah, that's an interesting point there, Daddy Alpha. The brother, yes, Tristan. I did want to touch on the brother because a lot of people forget the brother Tristan. He's in on the whole thing as well, right? Tristan, probably the more, he's not the big, large in life personality that Andrew Tate is, but he still says some pretty dumb, offensive shit. Yeah, I don't know where Maureen's at. I might maybe message her. Oh. For the moment. So, yeah, so with Tristan, yeah, Daddy Alpha. Hi, Tony. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I actually was playing about with designs on this t-shirt, just standard website that you make a t-shirt on. So it was kind of like playing about with designs. It was like a navy blue color I had, and then it was like in white writing. I had Nicola Sturgeon, then like a little Scottish flag under that, and then below that for prison. Maybe we could play about a few other ideas. I probably should have took a screenshot of it, but it's definitely something I'm going to work on though, Tony. But yeah, you're Tristan, Daddy Alpha. Yeah, Tristan's a weird one because Tristan said something before about, what was it like about, like advocating that you could go and like men could go and sleep with a woman who's 15 years old or some shit like that. It was something, I don't know, because I don't know what if the legal age is. I take it is legal age and where they're at Romania is at 16. But there were some very dodgy comments that he made though. And there is a lot of stuff there. There was a good guy that like had a good channel that was exposing all the stuff with Tate and all the accusations of people with messages out there of stuff and women that he was with that he had, he lured in. There was a lot of stuff there. I think that guy got booted off of Twitter though. I remember there was a guy who I did follow at one point, and I think I even corresponded with, but yeah, Tristan's a very funny one as well, though. But a lot of people have overlooked a lot of that stuff, though. There's a lot of stuff there with dodgy comments, dodgy tweets from Andrew and Tristan back in the day. Callie, hi, Callie. Storm blew out my Wi-Fi. How is it now? Is it better now? Internet connection good? Cara, very sweet of her day. No, I would never. You don't be disrespecting Maury now, Cara. No, never do that. Do a poll top 5. Yeah, that's a good idea. I could get a photo of each different type of design, and then we can go by which. That's a good idea, Tony. Yeah, top 5. I've made a start, Daddy Alpha. Yeah, making a start. Be good. I mean, it could sell, right? It could be a big thing all over Scotland, right? I mean, particular areas of people, and I'd have to. They could sell like hotcakes, though. No doubt. Hi, Paul. I've watched a bit of both of them, and for me, all they teach is what a true male really should be doing: take care of your family, kids. Well, I don't know about that, Paul. From the stuff you've watched. That might be more of their more recent material where they're saying things like that, Andrew and Tristan Tate. But a lot of the old stuff, it is very kind of super offensive, very quite fairly, misogynistic and sexist, however you want to call it. But when they realized the heat was on them and maybe that there was an investigation going on and maybe that, the authorities, Romania authorities were looking for them, maybe at that point they realized they had to change up their image and watch what they were saying. But yeah, absolutely, Cara. I know you never disrespect Maureen. Hi, Finola. How are you? You just missed it. You were the very second that you came on, I'd finished the stream last night, right? Oh, out on data, Callie. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I hate that when that happens. I've done that a couple of times on my phone. Like Tristan could have been the Jillian. What do you mean by that, Daddy Alpha? I don't get the reference. Well, I mean, depends, John. I mean, some girls maybe, some maybe could just be trashy, like porn star looking glamour model chicks, but I haven't seen like the maybe some are okay, some aren't, you know, but beauty, I suppose beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, yeah, I suppose, you know, you might have a point there, Callie, that Andrew's playing a character. It's like people said, I mean, Alex Jones said that about himself, right? That Alex Jones was playing a character, right? But it becomes the point where you need to separate the character from the real life person. And that's where these guys go wrong. That's where Alex Jones goes wrong, you know? And that's where Alex Jones screwed up with the whole, you know, taking the conspiracy theory way too far, going down that whole shit about, oh, it could be crisis actors and Sandy Hook. And I mean, that's ruined him now, right? I mean, what, £1 billion he owes for all those lawsuits. And so you really have to be careful when you become that character, you know? You've got to watch. They wanted to sign on Tommy Robinson in Romania. All right, right. Well, I mean, Andrew Tate obviously says he moved to Romania because the laws aren't as bad here, and when it comes to like little like crime and gangs and that, they can get a lot of gangs get away with get off pretty lightly, and but it's obviously different because that's the thing with Andrew Tate. On this Valuetainment interview, he was saying something along the lines of, well, because he was how long was he held for in the with the police cell? Was it him and his brother? Was it about 4 months or so? But he was saying that basically that you wouldn't be out that long, really. But it's only if there's a possibility it could take you so long that you would be in the cells for that amount of time. But I mean, Andrew Tate's trying to claim that they've got nothing on him, but there's going to be some things there that they'll definitely have on him, though, no doubt. Could there, I mean, is it the case? Is it a case of the establishment are trying so hard to end him and to take him down? Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, this isn't to say by no means is Andrew Tate an innocent man as a saint, though. You know, so some of this shit, I believe, is true, the allegations. Yeah, well, Finola Cara, Finola's one of our regulars here. Hi, Orgon. Favre was a world-renowned chess player, genius. Yeah, I saw that. And he spoke about his dad. I saw that on the Valuetainment interview, Orgon, Andrew Tate speaking about his father. And I'm not saying that his father might have been an all right guy. You know, him and the father and mother split up. That never helps. You know, that's probably definitely changed the direction of probably Andrew Tate's life, how he turned out. But yeah, I know that about his dad being a chess player. But I mean, would there have been some good qualities with his father? Yeah, but I mean, I think obviously not having the father and the mum together in the life the whole time, that's going to fuck a kid up, right? I mean, I know a few kids when I grew from growing up with primary, secondary, like a divorce, when kids have to deal with their parents going through a divorce, that can fuck you up. But it can actually, you can develop quicker though when you're younger. It toughens you up more to life. So it is strange. Like you do get something out of it in a weird way. But hiya, Fabio. Well, I don't think it's entirely genuine that there is the conversion to Islam personally, right? I don't think it's entirely genuine. What's that guy that it's the big YouTuber who's Muslim? He spoke to Jordan Peterson before. I think he was trying to convert Jordan Peterson, right? They had an interview, I think, on Jordan Peterson's channel. I know he spoke to Tate, right? But I don't fully buy it, though. I don't know if it's fully genuine. Just my personal opinion. Ghislaine Maxwell, Daddy Alpha. Yeah, well, she's obviously a very charming character, right? Finola, his dad was a chess master. He was actually a grandmaster in chess, was he? Nick Merckx and Tim Titaram are now officially legends for stand up to Activision. Oh, right. I didn't know about this, Astral. Activision. Nick Merckx, he looks like a pretty jacked up guy, right? Activision removes Tim the Tapman's skin from Call of Duty. They removed it because of a tweet he made regarding a school voting to recognize Pride Month. Pride Month. Yeah, I mean, that's something they should be leaving alone. I mean, when it comes to Pride, it comes to the radical trans agenda, when it comes to how much they're pushing it, especially in America, when it comes to stuff with puberty blockers and that, they should just be leaving the kids the hell alone, right? John got a big mouth. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that doesn't help him, John, right? If he is innocent, right? The big mouth and the shouting, the yelling doesn't help at all, right? It doesn't help. It doesn't sound like, comes off like a guy who's in control. It comes off like more like a guy who's desperately wanting to convince you that he's in control when he raises his voice. It's not a good look, though, right? Leave the kids alone. It's like the Pink Floyd song, right? Hey, teacher, leave our kids alone. What the hell's going on with Roger Waters right now, anyway? With the stuff he's wearing at his gigs, right? What's up with that? Fabio, there are early videos of Tate in the early days saying the women for cam girls, he would pay their taxes, but he says he doesn't pay the cam girls taxes. So in the way, he promised them that, Fabio, but in the end he fucked them over, right? Yeah, I mean, he changed it, though, because of the allegations. I mean, we didn't even know who Andrew Tate was until this time last year. And then it was it about the end of December they arrested him? And I even said to myself, I said, he'll get exposed soon, you know? I saw it coming. He's going down a dark path. Can't remember what his tour is called, but it was reminiscent of MJ's This Is That. Oh, right. Wow. So what do you think's going on there, Cara? Do you think he's like been put up to wearing all this stuff, like this stuff that's similar to like the Nazis, what they wore? Or is he just enjoying doing this? Does he know the end is near, or what's going on with all that? Could be toasters, depending on what they identify as. Well, there's crazy videos out there of people identifying as vampires these days and shit like that, right? Andrew Tate's obsessed with money. Yeah, being obsessed with money is that can be a bit of a red flag, can it, Tony? That all that money he made came from somewhere, right? And it was probably just very good marketing and luring guys in, vulnerable guys. But then he had the whole thing where he was bragging about what he called the lover boy method and how he's going a few dates for girls, getting to fall in love with him. And yeah, they're just not a very good character at all. But he's been able to fool a lot of people, right, in this whatever alternative media community, right? There's so many people that will stand up for him, right? There'll be Paul Joseph Watson, this guy Valuetainment. Candace Owens is another one. I think Jordan Peterson has tried to defend him, right, Andrew Tate? Yeah, he's got a big mouth, Fabio. He's vocal about a lot of things, Tate is. Cara, way off this mortal coil. Yeah, he's a funny one. He's a funny. He is. He's very. I mean, he's obviously a very opinionated guy, as Roger Waters. But this is not a drill. Is the name of his tour? That's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Tate at all, Tony. I agree. Finola, my two teenage sons like Tate with maturity, they'll get it. Yeah. I think it's probably just a phase that they're going through, Finola. I'd agree there. There is no peacemakers these days, John, because everybody's trying to be controversial, because I guess that's where like the money, the clicks, the likes, and all that. So where you think he got his money? Yeah, well, it was the webcam business, Fabio. That's how he got his money, and the Hustlers University. Yeah, no one knew who he was when he was this supposedly big, buddy kickboxer, right? You know, I called him in my video, I called him a failed kickboxer, right? And people got on me saying he won this championship, he won that championship. And it was like, well, did that make him any money? Did that end up paying his bills? Like, I don't think it did, right? I mean, he buddy went on Big Brother in 2016 when it was Channel 5 and it was in the shitter, the ratings, right? I mean, he was just doing anything for a bit of fame, right? Was it Tristan was on that shipwreck reality program as well or something? I think Tristan went on that, right? But yeah, but the thing is, people forget about that Tristan, but he's another very funny one as well. I mean, just do some digging on old tweets of his, and you'll see just how fucked up some of the stuff he said. But from the people in the chat here, so I guess it's kind of 50-50, right? Some of you think Andrew Tate and Tristan are guilty, or is there people here that think they're not guilty, or just don't know enough about the topic? What do you guys think overall, though? UFC and boxing is top elite fighting. Yeah, no doubt. UFC. Yeah, absolutely. Then again, though, boxing still, though, I mean, you had Floyd Mayweather that went up against Conor McGregor, right? I mean, Conor McGregor put up more of a fight than I think what people were expecting, but still, couldn't get the job done in the end, though. Counterbalance Astral, yeah, but then I think from knowing how you think, Astral, it probably is a bit of an agenda from the establishment to take him down, right? Can't form an opinion, Cara, right? Yeah, I understand, Cara. You can maybe take a look at the BBC interview that you did, Cara. Maybe the unedited one, probably better. But then if you just can't be arse watching 40 minutes of him talk, there's like an 8-minute, 9-minute version on BBC. Get that on iPlayer. On your list, Cara. Good one. Conor McGregor gets a lot of mudslung. I mean, yeah, no doubt for Noah, but Conor brings a lot of it on himself, though, with the silly shit that he does and getting in fights outside when it's not in the octagon or whatever. He brings a lot of the negative attention on himself, though. Media can be jealous. Well, I wouldn't disagree with that, Tony, about boxing being banned, because when you think of the damage that it causes, permanent brain damage, see what happened. You see, they're not; these fighters are never the same in the end, are they? You saw what happened with Muhammad Ali. Obviously, you see Mike Tyson now. He's pretty much, he's kind of a broken man. Frank Bruno, what he went through, depression. In your DMs, Cara? Surely no, right? But yeah, so Mr. Andrew Tate, though, it's not looking good for Andrew Boy. Women boxing? No, I'm not a fan of women boxing either, Fanoa. No. Or UFC. That looks ugly as hell when women are fighting. Conor McGregor. Yeah, I mean, he's promoting all this stuff now, isn't it? With trading apps and all this McGregor. You see him everywhere, right? Slagging off True Geordie last week, 2 weeks ago, which was kind of funny, to be honest. But Fabio, you're taking the piss, right? I'm not going to get Andrew Tate with 2,000 subscribers. I could maybe, with a shot, get Tristan Tate if I had about 20 or 30,000, but never Andrew Tate, though. Don't like the way, yeah, Conor McGregor goes on Fanoa, right? Yeah, he does ramble the fuck on, right? But I don't know if you guys have seen the video that I did, though. I did this rap song. It was about the Scotland football team, We Can Win. Bloody YouTube goes and takes it down, right? There was a copyright thing that it was with UEFA, right? It was basically a 10-second clip. It was a striker by the name of Lee Griffiths score these 2 free kicks. And it was virtually the exact position, the exact way, same way it was like from the second one was. And that basically clip is the reason that my video has now been removed. And that's 2 times now that's been problems with copyright. So it probably might just be easier. I'll go in and edit it. I mean, it's 10 seconds I could take out, put something else in, no problem. It is getting a bit annoying, though, because something else could crop up. Somebody else could come in and say it'll be a copyright problem, but it's just a bit annoying, though, that all this shit, though, with yeah, I'm raging too, Cara. Eh? It's bullshit, right? It's a really good song, excellent video. And it was the free kicks bit, right? Because it was the free kicks 1, Lee Griffiths 2. That went with the video so well, right? And now I've got to take that shit down, take it away. So when it comes to me and my creativity, that pisses me off, you know? But I will get that edited, though, and I will try and put something better in, well, as good as I can to fit with it in. So John, hello, John. Connor Maw. I'm not that big of a Conor McGregor fan, though. He has really been shoved down the throats of the public, though, has he? Creative stumping, never good, Cara. I know. It's never good. Yeah. You know what would go with the photo, Tony? A picture of the Crankies, right? The Van Tabby Dozy. Nickelodeon. Wait. I'll write that down though. Nick. Oh dear. That's funny. Nickelodeon. I'm on it with that. I'm on it with that, Tony. Yeah. So what else was I going to speak about? Yeah. So I said about grifters and shills, right? Because in this kind of alternative media, freedom community, whatever you want to call it, you can get a lot of talk about, controlled opposition. You can get a lot of talk about grifters and shills. I've come across some stuff that I found very interesting, and it's stuff in relation to when it comes to people that I thought were on the right side, people that I thought were good guys I could trust. And there's some very questionable stuff when it comes to certain people who could be potentially grifters, shills. They aren't in it for the right reasons. Their heart isn't in the right place. We can discuss this. I mean, who you guys think might be a grifter and shill, who you think's are wrong, and be interested to hear what you guys think. Some people have said before, and I did have a shorts video about it earlier, that some people think Tate Hopkins is a shill. I wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me that if she's a shill, if she's controlled opposition. She's certainly not somebody I watch all her videos every day. I'm not that into her. I appreciate that she makes some interesting points now and then, and occasionally can be kind of funny and witty and a bit entertaining. But there's definitely a few people out there who I do have a few question marks about. And I always feel when people think they're speaking for the whole community, when in the end it's just your opinion, right? You're just giving your opinion. But it's when people think they're speaking for everybody else, that's something I'm a little bit leery of. But I've from things I've been, some of my digging, I've been a little bit I've had questions about a couple of people. Finoa, I've not gone in on her, but I don't think she's a shill. Yeah, someone said on the live stream that they thought Tate Hopkins was a shill yesterday. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it would have been you, Astral, if you're still there. But there was some question marks I had about this particular individual. Tell me if you know her. I had come across a video, an interview that it was a James English. He had interviewed Anna Breeze. Anna Breeze, former ITV BBC journalist, right? And this was an interview from 2019. And I thought, you know what? She comes off quite well, comes off quite nice, talking before, like her background, hadn't come from a lot of money, done well to work up her way up, with what she did, working for ITV, BBC, and then later on kind of became disillusioned with, when it came to the mainstream media. And I thought overall she came off pretty well. And not only that, Anna Breeze came off from people that I followed and I thought they're all right. She had corresponded with certain people like who I liked and who I respected, who I still do respect, by the way, but she even did an interview with Robbie Williams. So I was thought, you know what, she seems okay, right? But when I see more and more things about Anna Breeze, a lot of this flip-flopping and a lot of people kind of exposing like screenshots of old tweets that she's had, I end up with the conclusion that I don't think she's somebody that you could trust. And I would put her in that shill grifter category. There was stuff about Anna Breeze about flogging masks early on, 3 years ago. And then she had, when it came to, the passports that they wanted, if you get the JB, she had a channel about that, about being against that. She's flip-flopped on a few things. And she's definitely somebody that I used to follow. I no longer don't on Twitter. But she's someone that I've probably, from the stuff I've seen, I think, no. You're not someone that can be trusted. Love James English, Cara. Yeah, James English does a good job, by the way. He's a good guy. He does a good job with his interviews. Regular guy, very straight shooter, down to earth. He's a good guy. I do like his stuff. she used Alex Belfield. That might have been what it was, Tony. I mean, she's somebody who comes off like she speaks for the community, right? This truther community, whatever. But I didn't even know who she was until, a few months back, right? So I don't think she's as big as she likes to think she is, I said, and did she block you over that, John, when you told her that? I take it she probably blocked you, right? Yeah, I think that, but she probably did, Tony, latch on to that whole Alex Belfield thing. I didn't even know who he was at the time. I wasn't familiar with that. But she probably was wanting to do that thing of like, oh, he's been unfairly mistreated, rah, rah, rah. But then there was all the allegations there and backed up that, he had been harassing people. He had been stalking people. So I think in the end, it was pretty fair sentence what he got in the end, right? But then she tried to reach out to Katie Hopkins, right, to see what prison he was at, so she could visit him, write to him even, or whatever. But in the end, she ended up on Instagram. She messaged the Katie Hopkins parody account, right? And you thought that's pretty bad. That's pretty embarrassing. I've seen a lot of people really go in on her though, and this was the thing initially when I still liked her and I thought she was okay. I thought, that seems a bit unfair. Sorry, she's kind of getting picked on here, right? Seems like she's one of these people who's kind of like misunderstood, But as time's gone on, though, I think like, well, you know what? Maybe she's brought some of this on herself, though. And I suppose you could make the case it could have been longer, Tony. I'm not that familiar with the whole Alex Belfield thing, to be honest with you, though. I had no clue who he was. No clue who he was. But Anna Breeze, though, she's a funny one, though. But I mean, so she's kind of gone back and forth, flip-flopping with the whole thing, with all the stuff that went on 3 years ago. Okay, that she's when it comes to contact tracing apps, she thought that this was a must-have. Or at one point she didn't, and at one point she did, or whatever. Then she was looking for money. She was saying, "Hi guys, I need money to pay for newsletters to everyone via MailChimp, costing $53 a month." Like, good grief. I've also taken on staff. That's probably one person, an unpaid internship. So please sign up to my newsletter. And then obviously she wanted people to donate to her as well. But yeah, she's a funny one. And then when it came to the what's his name? Oh, what's his name again? Oh, I have to find the guy. I can't remember the guy's name. But there's a lot of stuff on her, though, if you look into her, though. No. All right. Only YouTube, right. So you speaking about Anna Breeze, her YouTube account, John, that you messaged her on? Don't know enough about her. Yeah. What about Alex Belfield, Finola? What was your thoughts on Alex Belfield? Did you find him entertaining? Yeah. Oh, I imagine Katie Hopkins is the same, right, Tony? She'll be asking for money as well, right? Which I'm sure people will have those things. They can. Patreon is an easy way to make some money, right? I mean, capitalist society we live in. It was the Dr. Robert Malone, though. That was the guy, yes. So she tweeted, "I can't tell you how safe I feel that this nutter is removed from Twitter." Right? That's what she tweeted. So at that moment, I think that's it, right? That is it, right? Anna Breeze can't be trusted. That's it. It's over. And something else that she says here above that, it was how to beat censorship. None of you seem to quite get it yet. And it's like I don't know how many followers she has, about 35,000, 40,000 followers. But it's like, none of you seem to quite get it yet. It's like, that's quite a condescending way to speak to people, right? that's quite an off-putting way to talk to people. It's like, gee, and even when when she demanded that Kate Hopkins tell her where Alex Belfield, what prison he was at, it's like it was a very rude way that she kind of approached her. And again, I'm not a big Kate Hopkins fan, but when it comes to Grifters and Shills, though, what do you guys think, though? I mean, who would you say to me that you would say you look at and you think, they're a shill, they're this, I can't trust them, they're a grifter. Who do you guys think, though? Let me know. Be interested to see what you think. Yeah, well, a lot of people, Fino, I think with Belfield, they played the game right. They knew how he would react, and they would play along and try and wind him up, right, and get that reaction out of him. From what little things I saw, I didn't see everything, but I never seen enough of Belfield, though, to really have an opinion on him. The odd clip I watched of him, he was a little bit funny with some of the things he said. You know, a little. I don't trust Jeremy Vine. Yeah, Jeremy Vine, he's never been someone I've really taken to. Is Jeremy Vine kind of like one of these like guys, Tony? He's kind of like supposed to be in the middle, or but I would never watch that trash TV show of his on Channel 5 though. It's Channel 5, isn't it? Didn't realize half the stuff he got up to. Yeah, a lot of that covered up, you know, or because you're just fooled into this. You know, I guess he did a lot of live streams on his YouTube, Belfield, and he was probably a very entertaining character, I guess, but there was a lot of dark things there with him, though. I mean, obviously, if you're pounding people and stalking them, and some of the things I'd heard that he did, it was pretty bad. Like, you don't trust Amanda Holden, Cara. Yeah, Amanda Holden, that's somebody that, you know, I've wondered now for a while about Amanda Holden, because Amanda Holden, right, I mean, was just a regular working actress, right? And then ever since 2007, she's been one of the main people, judges on Britain's Got Talent, right? And you think, well, number one, how the fuck has she lasted that long, right? I mean, Sharon Osbourne never lasted that long on X Factor. Cheryl Cole didn't last that long on X Factor either, right? Nicole Scherzinger, Kelly Rowland, Talisa, you can name them. So I've had my doubt. I thought that maybe Amanda Holden, something maybe went on with her and Simon Cowell. Is that what you were maybe thinking, Cara? I mean, if she went with a guy like Les Dennis, right? Like, wow, like Les Dennis, right? You know, and again, I don't, you know, regular working actress, I don't think everyone would have known who Amanda Holden was. I mean, she had a bit of a name, I suppose, overall in the UK, but she wasn't that well known. You know, she ended up, cheating in Les Dennis, right? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, you know, for her to still be in the job now. If someone went on with her and Cowell, it wouldn't surprise me one bit, though. Not one bit. She did the dirt in Les Dennis, yeah. Paul J, Amanda Holden belongs on the streets. Tigers and Lions at St. Combs. I'm not that familiar with that, Cara. I was just looking something here, 2015. Charities, Fury at Lions and Tigers cage in Aberdeenshire. Is that what you're talking about? Turner, yeah, you could say that, but I mean, Anthea Turner, what she felt, she had the issues, right? And then you don't see much of her anymore, right? Anthea Turner, she's not on TV that much now, presenting stuff. Oh, right, yeah, Yeah, there was that show that she did, right? Yeah. I never watched it though, but yeah, I know the one you mean, Cara. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I can't remember. It was just one of these forgettable, not that brilliant drama type shows, wasn't it? None of them hold a candle to Jill Dando. Well, she was going to blow the lid on all that stuff with the high with the high profile names when it came to child abuse, right? And then they took her out. But it's kind of funny though. I mean, when you've got the allegations about a certain Mr. Richard Kitty, right, Cara? Um, Jill Dando and Cliff Richard were very close friends, though, eh? So that's a little that's a bit funny, isn't it? I can vaguely remember Jill Dando as a kid, Vino, and she did, yeah, come off like a very nice, classy woman, from what I can remember. Yeah, wrongfully. It was. I mean, it should tell you something right there, shouldn't it? That it should tell you something that a guy that got wrongfully accused of murder, that this something must have gone down. That it was obviously planned out. They wanted her taken out. You think so, Tori? You think she had someone on Cliff Richard? Maybe that friendship. It was maybe a holding your enemies close kind of thing. Maybe was going on there. Interesting. Yeah, you just wonder though what will happen to buddy Mel Gibson. Will he, with this big documentary that he's going to have, right? I mean, will this end up being a suicide? Will this end up being shot dead? I mean, I do feel he's going to have this big documentary. I do really fear for him. I really fear for his life, and I do wonder what will the establishment do? Will they start trying to get dirt on him, like ex girlfriends, whatever? Even find his ex wives and getting dirt on him there. They'll come for him. Like they will come for him, no doubt. Thomas Chipperfield. So it could be an Epstein thing with no doubt. I would say we're about 70% degree of certainty. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like it would be an Epstein thing with Mel Gibson. I really hope not, but and yeah, just last line, Tabor in UK. Thomas Chipperfield was refused license to use big cats in traveling circus. Ah, right. Well, there's talk online, Daddy Alpha. There's going to be a documentary, and it comes to child trafficking, and he's exposing that, Daddy Alpha. Mel Gibson's going to blow the lid and all that. It's going to be like a big 4-part documentary. I think he's doing. You're going to beat me with the percentages again, right, Cara? John, Jill was killed because of a bombing Serbian TV station star. What? I don't know about that. 4-part documentary. That's from what I've heard. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sean Atwood, he's been doing videos in Jill Dando on his YouTube. He has a poll here. Was Jill Dando investigating Savills network? Let's say yes. I would go yes. 80% have said yes. She had info in high profile. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Yeah. Yeah, is John just making stuff up? Is he, Tony? So the dossier ready for release. It's just like the guy that buddy was going to blow the lid on the illegal war in Iraq, right? Dr. David Calley, and what happens to him, you know? Oh yeah, of course, so much corruption. Yeah, that's the thing, Tony. I've never come across that story either. The Blair Witches, Blair Witch Project, right? Brenda Leyland. The McCann troll, right? Woman killed herself. All right. Yeah, I've heard about this before. Yeah, I know. Sky TV report said they were devastated. Yeah, I'm sure you were. Good grief. Yeah, I've heard about that. Now, what's that? What was that to do specifically when Jill Dando got shot, though, John? Lawrence Fox, GBUs, he's trending. What's he been saying? He's just trending for the sake of it. Is he trying to get the constituency that Boris had? Is I think that's why Lawrence Fox is trending. Play on names. Yeah, exactly. Martin Brunt. Yeah. Barry George got blamed for it. Yeah. Which lets you know if somebody gets wrongfully accused of murder, there's some probably shady shit going on right there. Yeah, I think so. That's why she was taken at the game. Yeah. You guys know about Lawrence Fox though? He's trending. Some people say he's controlled opposition. What do you guys think of him? Do you think he can be trusted or? So JP Morgan agrees to pay Epstein victims $290 million historic class action lawsuit settlement after it was revealed bank continued to do business with him for years despite being labeling him a high-risk client. So there you go. $290 million. I'm sure that's chump change to JP Morgan, but still though, fair chunk of money. And yeah, they were all pally, right? CEO, JP Morgan, photo of some other bigwig, and then Epstein, and then who's next to Epstein to his left? Bill Gates. And it's a big, corrupt, deeply sinister club. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because Lawrence Fox, Tony, is it the Reclaim Party, or whatever the hell it's called, or he's the leader of the Reclaim Party. Okay. Yeah, that was a weird clip. I saw that of like when they were in Vienna, right? Of Jill Dando and Cliff Richard, right? That was very odd. I saw that, Cara. Yeah. Finola, he's been dropped as an actor. Yeah, some people, I've heard theories that people have said this is all by design, kind of what he's doing now, Lawrence Fox. And ever since he was like, went on that show and kind of like said that, hey, Megan's saying that, like, he was saying basically, well, Megan's trying to claim that people are racist here, royal family racist, but Britain's not racist. We're the most open, tolerant, diverse countries out there. But I've noticed things that he's said, and it gets kind of more and more controversial. And while I can appreciate some of the things he says, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. When, for example, when it was like, it was the footballer Benjamin Mendy had those allegations when it came to sexual assault, right? And right away, Lawrence Fox tweets, "Get kneeling, fuckers," in relation to the George Floyd thing. And I thought that was a pretty bad tweet, to make it all about color when a guy who, black man, sexual assault, he makes it a thing about people because they're kneeling down with the stuff when it came to George Floyd. There's black people kneeling down, there's white people kneeling down. But he made it a thing, though, about color because a black man, sexual assault. And you see where I'm getting? That was a bad tweet. And I remember saying, I think I even tweeted him at the time and said, you should probably delete this tweet. That's not a good tweet. I think you might have even got suspended on Twitter for that. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle of you. What about Bill Clinton, Paul? What are you saying about Bill? Boris, Nigel, and Jacob Rees-Mogg are starting a new party. Well, if he starts a party with Boris, if Nigel Farage starts a party with Boris Johnson, then he definitely is controlled opposition, right? He's got to be controlled opposition. Look at the 1980s Serbia. It's where the Muslim world meets the Christian world. I have to look up some stuff on that, John. Used to fly in the league. Yeah, I know about that, John. Sorry, Paul. And don't you find it's odd, Paul? Don't you find it's odd that the guy that was trying to expose Epstein? What was the name of the writer? He was trying to expose Jeffrey Epstein, right? And this is the guy that does a book with Bill Clinton, right? They co-write a book. And I thought, how odd is that? Because you mean to tell me that the guy that's investigating, trying to expose Jeffrey Epstein, right? All of a sudden, he's just going to do business with Bill Clinton, with obviously Bill being one of the main people linked to Epstein. Like that, very, very odd, right? Yeah, you know who that was, Cara? Michael Gove. That's who it was clubbing. Michael Gove, yeah. He was out by himself, right? Yeah, I think he was at that Irish. It was an Irish bar, O'Neill's, I think. Oh, so some story on Maureen. Maureen had dinner late, nodded off last night. She got bitten by a mosquito last night. Shit. Buggers were massive. He's going to walk the dogs around the block before it gets too late. We'll catch up on our live stream. So I don't know. I don't think I might be finished by the time she's back though. But yeah, it was Michael Gove. Michael Gove, Cara. I think he ended up in O'Neill's. Was it O'Neill's or was it somewhere else? Do you know, Cara, have you been to that O'Neill's, the Irish bar, before? Oh, really? Paul Barry Hearn visited? Wow. That surprises me. There's a few names on that list that surprised me. I mean, buddy Mikola Tate was on Epstein Island. Courtney Cox, the actress, she was on. He made a show of himself. Yeah, that's true for all. He did. He did make an arse of himself. Yeah, I know. I've seen. It's funny because Jay-Z was on that list, wasn't he? Jay-Z was on the list, but I don't think Kanye West was, right? Joan Rivers. That's quite funny, is it? Joan Rivers, when she was saying all that stuff about Barack Obama calling him Barry and calling Michelle Michael, eh? Last pub in Aberdeen I went into didn't have a clean stuff. I think it's Soul Bar has like same-sex toilets, I think. I think you men and female, or I think. I don't know if it would have been Soul though, Cara, because I think it's a little bit of a nicer establishment. So you might have just been in one of these rough pubs, I guess, right? Well, you said yourself a pub, right? I sometimes go to pubs, bar here and there, a few clubs. Yeah, it does have great scenery, Tony. Absolutely. So where is it you live, by the way, Tony? Where are you at? A lot of the rappers were all gay. Well, there's a lot of stuff out there about P. Diddy. You know, P. Diddy. Oh, I only had a men's cut guy. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there about P. Diddy. I think it's more or less an open secret in the industry, right, about him. Ah, Cambridge, right. Ah, right, okay. Last pub in Aberdeen about a ladies' toilet. That's weird, is it? It must be one of these. You get these places like social clubs, Cara, I don't know, like a Bridge Street social club, one of these rough, what they call real men's pubs. You know, maybe it's some place like that. See if there's any more news, any big headlines. It seems the Schofield stuff's gone away for now. No big headlines here, though. Nothing big here. In Bathgate. All right. Have you ever been up to Aberdeen before, Tony? Bridge Bar Inn next to Trinity. Don't know if I've been there before, Cara. I think so. I've been to, when you go on Belmont Street, there's Cafe Drummond's, and then I'll sometimes go to Siberia, Revolution, Slane's Castle. Those are some of the kind of places you usually end up in. Anderson Drive, yeah. Anderson Drive, yeah. Yeah, you say, yeah, Cults, right, Paul? Cults, yeah. Dr. Feelgood. That was a line of Big song, was it, John? I remember. I make you feel good like Dr. Feelgood. Glasgow? Glasgow's not bad. I prefer Edinburgh, though. That's where my mum's from, Edinburgh. I enjoy going to Edinburgh a lot. Jack Grealish has been awake for 72 hours. Fuck, mate, your eyes will be bloodshot. I mean, I was still sleeping well last night. One of my eyes is shut. Fuck. That's why I keep doing that. It's hard to get any sleep though with all this partying. There's a few decent pubs for now in Aberdeen. If you're more like if you like your bars, I would say bars are decent. If you do a bit of clubbing, one or two clubs are all right. But yeah, there's a couple of decent pubs though, in fairness. Nay posh enough for Serbia. Siberia, Cara, I get it now. What's the City Inn? Is that? Oh, what is that again? There's Slains and then there's another one, isn't there? What's the? Oh, I can't remember the name. I usually go Slains though. Slains, I'll play a bit of pool with my mates at Slains and. Astro Chimp Creased. Where the fuck is Astral anyway? We'll get that sorted with the t-shirts, Tony, mate. We'll get that. Aye. Because I was looking to get a t-shirt for that song that I did, We Can Win. I want to do something with that when it comes to t-shirt designing. And aye. Oh, aye, Paul. Aye. Did you ever go to Batodry much to see Aberdeen play? Or? From all the partying. So they're living it up, eh? Suppose they deserve it, winning the treble. Right. So how long were you up here working for, Paul? So about Bezos and his 500 million super yacht. Whew, how they ever half live, eh? You could do something like that, Tony. We could do. I could get designing a few when it comes to the sturgeon, like in relation to getting locked up, going to prison. Put a poll up, have 5 different designs, and then see what the best one is. Do something like that. The oil convention, right? I see. What was that? Was that the UP&J Arena? Was that for that or? See, Brendan Rodgers is trending, right? See, trying to get back in Celtic. Or I think it was just his birthday today or something. Or I think he's 50, right? Scott Brown open to Celtic return along Brendan Rodgers. A lot of Celtic fans, I guess, would be happy to have Brendan Rodgers back with Scott Brown. I mean, for years and years, Scott Brown was, he was known as Mr. Celtic, right? That's, Daddy Alpha, that is a good one, right? Where is the money, Nicola? We got to give Tony credit for that. That's a good one, right? I need to write that down. Where is the money, Nicola? We'll just piss off. We'll be pissing off the SMP mob so much, will we? Yeah. I'm an Aberdeen fan, Tony. Yes, for my sins. A lot of Slack fans weren't happy. No, yeah, very abrupt the way he left. I'm still surprised. I feel like Postecoglou should have probably stayed on another year, then made the big move to England. But well, what's done is done now. Or just where's the 600 grand, Nicola? Something like that. There could be a lot of potential there. Some good ideas for t-shirts. Miss Diane Crossroads. I don't know about Crossroads. I didn't. Speaking about Crossroads, it was a Susan Hansen played Diane Lawton, right? Just Googling all these things right now. Yeah, and that was the thing, Tony. They were trying to claim something about 107 grand loan, right? That like the treasurer guy didn't know how to use a computer or some shit, or as to why the loan didn't get processed in time. Probably does have a big Swiss bank account. Wouldn't surprise me. Finally got an independence. Yeah. Well, it was the Isla Brighton thing that screwed up for Sturgeon in the end, though. I mean, that's what led her to resign, I think. You could say it was a combination of that and the U ship was going to hit the fan with the missing funds, but maybe it's just arrogance, Finola. They think they're above the law. They'll get away with it. I don't know. But Astral, that's a question. I think that's a question for Matt Walsh, surely, right? That's a question for Matt Walsh. Imagine if he had interviewed Nicola Sturgeon on that and asked her that question. Yeah, they should probably go hiding in Portugal, enjoy the nice weather there while they can. It would just, if we could get something really creative like t-shirt design though, Daddy Alpha, and then if we all tweet J.K. Rowling, because you know how J.K. Rowling feels about Nicola Sturgeon about all this. Imagine if you can get a retweet off of J.K. Rowling, or you even get her to wear the t-shirt, right? Imagine the kind of the traction you could gain, right? Sturgeon missed payments, SNP. So Sturgeon no payments if you're to go SNPA, but yeah. I think there's a big chat opportunity there, Paul, right? Mugs, cups, branch out, right? Oh, night, Cara. It's a pleasure as always, right? Take care. I was just going to be wrapping this up just in a 2-3 minutes, but yeah, thanks, Cara. But there's a big opportunity with this. Yeah, cups, mugs. I need to get on it, right? Finola Barbie Kardashian. I have to look that up. Wow, she looks pretty bad, right? That person. She looks real bad. Barbie Kardashian. Good grief. But it's definitely if we get into that and find a good idea when it comes to the t-shirts. Yeah, been a pleasure, Tony. I'm just going to be wrapping this up any minute now, but we're definitely get onto that, Tony, when it comes to t-shirt ideas. I'll start maybe testing the waters, playing about with a couple of different ideas, maybe get a poll up, maybe 4 or 5 different t-shirts, see what people think, which one's the best, see what it's like there. Wants to kill her. Gee. I'm just seeing the photo of like the red lipstick, but looks horrible though, right? Like, gee. Fear she's moving prisons. Amid fear she could follow. Gee. Bugs Bunny, what's up, Nicola? Variety, spice of life, yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, only 21 Finola. I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but okay, so I'm going to just wrap this up just in a few seconds, guys. As I say, I'm going to get to work with that stuff with the sturgeon with the t-shirts. Yeah, Daddy Alpha, I'm going to, but I'll come up with a few different ideas, slogans, pictures, what have you. See what you guys think is the best. I'll get a poll up probably around sometime tomorrow. Even a Romanian jail cell, John. Maybe that's what happens with Tate. We never know. Maybe that's what's been going on. Maybe you never know. I don't know though. I mean, he had it pretty bad though. Him and Tristan though. Was it 4 months overall? He ended up in a cell, but yeah, not looking good though. I mean, I'm pretty certain I've got it right when it comes to Andy Tate though, what he's been doing and the allegations. But yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up here though, guys. But thanks very much. Been lovely as always. Should be back again for another live stream. Probably probably around tomorrow around 8, 7:30. I'll be back around then. But thanks very much, guys. Cheers. Bye.